Protagonists are the main characters of their stories, but what some of us fail to realize is that antagonists and side characters are protagonists as well, just with their own goals, values, and ambitions in mind. And so while one protagonist stands out among the other three, all four of them are protagonists, and we will be discussing each of their 10 greatest moments individually right now. So in today's video, we are discussing the brolic bronze of the Koopa gang, Murray, or as he likes to call himself, the Murray. Murray is without a doubt the heart and soul of the Koopa gang, and while he's not as intelligent as the other three protagonists, he more than makes up for it in muscle and on occasion, his intelligence from time to time. But which 10 moments stands out for him? Let's find out in today's video, guys. It's your boy Sly Lancy, and we will be discussing the 10 greatest Murray moments. Number 10. Murray's Big Gamble from Sly 1. The very first ever mission we have with Murray in this franchise. Now, much like the Bentley mission from the previous video, this is Murray's legitimate first time in the actual playing field of Sly. Now, even though this isn't the first Murray mission we play as in this franchise, that being all the racing missions in Sly 1, but this is the first time when Murray actually gets to see what it's like being Sly Cooper for once. And even though he's very nervous and scared every single time he even goes out into the field, which is a very stark contrast from how he acts in the later games, you still can't get over the fact that Murray was brave and very brave to go out there and do this for Sly. And this would be the key stepping stone into Murray becoming who he became later on in the series. Number 9. The Geisha Dance mission from Sly 4. In my history of talking about this mission, I've always been pretty critical of it, but I definitely like this way better than the Carmelita Belly Dance by a landslide. I like this one way better because it shows that Murray's not afraid to do anything that he deems below or above him. And considering Murray's done something like this before with the Koopa gang, if you watch like the mini episodes in the video games or the comics that you read, Murray's done this many times. And this is one of the things I love about Murray in this franchise. Even though he's the peak form of masculinity in the game, he's not letting it become overly toxic where he doesn't want to do anything that he deems too feminine. What also makes this moment even more iconic and memorable is the fact that none of these guards question who this person is or why she's here. They just all flaunt to Murray. Number 8. Defeating Grizz from Sly 4. After feeling down about himself in the past couple of missions, this mission right here, or this moment I should say, is the moment that Murray feels like he finally redeems himself. Murray was feeling down because he felt that he trained Bob Cooper too hard, and to the point where he became better than what Murray could, even though Murray still is the brawn of the entire team. He's the one that actually still remains the heart and soul of the group, and it was hard for him to understand that until after he defeated the Grizz in an ice skating fight. So again, as you guys know, I'm not a big fan of this boss fight at all, but in terms of what it did for Murray in Sly 4, and it's like a character growth moment for Murray, I can understand why this moment is important. And given my hatred of the Grizz in this game, it's very satisfying using Murray to defeat him in this boss fight. Though apparently I heard that in the finished version of Sly Cooper, the Grizz is actually a way better developed character than he is in the English version. Number 7. All the races from Sly 1. Practically, Murray in Sly 1 was basically finding himself in these situations where he gets jumped by all these guards that are challenging him to racing, and it's funny as all heck just watching it happen. What makes the moment even funnier is that they're not even challenging or betting for money, they're betting for a treasure key, which in terms of the story, I guess makes sense, but also like, why would you not bet money for a race? Like, that seems more logistical. But anyway, yeah, Murray in these races is an absolute dog in these races, absolutely beating the competition every single time. And both these races, I know not everyone is a fan of these racing missions, and neither am I. I can't stand these racing missions. But in terms of what it did for Murray's character, this is a part of his growth as becoming, growing out of his shell and becoming more braver and more heroic. Number 6. Practically his entire run in Operation Wedding Crasher from Sly 3. I was going to put one specific moment in this entry, but I felt like just thinking about his entire run and what he did during that chapter was actually far, far greater. So I'm like, let me just put the whole entry in here. So yeah, so the first part of the Wedding Crasher mission, he has to work with Penelope to basically get the treasure and steal it from General Sal. But when they get through all the blue security beams and destroy the computer, nothing is going off, not the laser walls or the security beams, nothing. So Murray makes the suggestion of destroying all the blue security nodes before the second computer loads up. Once Penelope and Murray are able to destroy all the blue security nodes, they are able to get the treasure chest. But however, Murray did not take in Penelope's words into consideration about how sensitive and weak the infrastructure is, does a big thunderflop and brings down the whole house, completely destroying General Sal's entire family temple while stealing his treasure in the process. Murray throughout this entire operation is an absolute beast of a character. He shows intelligence which can rival Bentley or Sly's when he truly puts his mind to it, and on top of that, he completely destroyed General Sal's temple. And given how everybody feels about General Sal and how despicable of a person he is, this was without a doubt well deserved on his part. This operation to me was probably the Murray at the physical peak of his powers. In fact, I would even go as far as to say that Sly 3 was just the peak version of Murray in terms of his intelligence, in terms of his power, and in terms of his strength. Number 5. Taking on 50 guards all by himself in prison from Sly 2. While I still firmly believe that Sly 3 was the best version of Murray that we ever got, his Sly 2 version is also just pretty damn impressive as well. After getting locked up by the Contessa at the end of Chapter 3, Murray basically finds himself almost in solitary confinement, but not completely solitary confinement. He's basically in a prison cell, which for some reason has the door wide open for whatever reason. But yeah, he finds himself in a prison cell, and Sly, having been able to sneak inside and through the air vents and basically talk to Murray through the vent, informs Murray that he basically has to get himself in solitary confinement so Bentley and him can get him out much easier and quicker. Sly and Bentley make the suggestion of Murray beating up at least 50 guards so that he can get himself put in solitary confinement for being antisocial. And Murray does exactly that, punching, thunderflopping, and setting off lasers to take out 50 of these guards. After defeating 50 guards, they lock him in a cage and place him in solitary confinement, which would unfortunately lead to one of his worst moments in this entire franchise, but we're not going to talk about that yet. But yeah. Practically, this moment gets number 5 because Murray took out 50 of them motherfuckers. 50 of Contessa's guards, who are by far some of the best guards in the entire Sly Cooper franchise. Absolutely unreal. Number 4. Fighting Rajan from Sly 2. After being betrayed by Neela unbeknownst to anybody in the Koopa gang, Murray is now forced to fight Rajan in a 1v1 fight all by himself practically, which is not going to be an easy task because Rajan is twice the size of Murray. However, given that Rajan basically said that Murray is a fat, pathetic weakling, Murray's now hell-bent on defeating Rajan with his fist, saying this iconic line.
I might be big and not as smart as the other guys, but one thing I'm not is weak.
Using his fist and thinking quickly on his feet, Murray is able to defeat Rajan no doubt and then get the second half of the Clockwork Heart, which he somehow manages to actually keep hidden and away from the Contessa while he's locked up in prison, which is another pretty damn good honorable mention to add as well. basically adding to the repertoire of the last entry. This entry gets number 4 on this list because it continues to show that even when he's outclassed, outnumbered, or even outsized, Murray is not going to back down from a fight regardless of who you are, how intelligent you are, or how strong you are. Murray truly is the heart and soul of this gang, being the second most fearless on his team right behind Sly, going from a scared coward in Sly 1 to being this brolic, fearless hero in Sly 2. Number 3. Saving his van from Sly 3. After losing his van and near the very end of Sly 2, Murray has basically gone a whole year without having his van. And earlier in the chapter of A Code of Lions, or in this case the King of Fire mission, he talks about how he misses his van so much. Well, lo and behold, literally right as the Code of Lions chapter begins, we see what happened to Murray's van. It went all the way from Canada over to China. Having been frozen in a block of ice, Murray is desperate to get the van back with the help of Penelope and the Panda King, and with it, he's able to get his van back in time before any of the guards can stop him. This moment is beautiful in its own right because it shows how much Murray cares about that van and how he treats it like a daughter, and it gave him the mental strength to want to push through to get his van back, going as far as to make the guards attack him to the point where he's almost near death. But that's how much he loves his van. It's also a notable moment because this is a moment that helps Panda King get some character development as well. So Murray, in turn, basically helped Panda King grow as a character. So this is another great moment in terms of what it did for Murray's character and what it did for Panda King's character as well. Number 2. Talking to Bentley about friendship / fighting off Dr. M from Sly 3. I talked about this moment a bit in the last video with Bentley, but this moment definitely needs to be talked about more in this video, and I'm gonna explain why. The difference between the Bentley situation and the Murray situation was that Murray had to bring Bentley back to the light side. You could see and hear in Bentley's voice that he felt like he was just being used the entire time, as to where Murray knows different. Murray knows how strong the bond is between him, Sly, and Bentley really is, and Bentley, for a moment, lost sight of that because of what he heard Dr. M say. Murray's pep talk to Bentley is enough to bring Bentley back to understand why they were here to begin with and how far they'd gotten with each other because of it. And because of this, Bentley is now ready and motivated to fight for Sly, along with Murray as well. This moment gets number 2 easily on this list because this moment right here proves that Murray is the heart and soul of the Koopa gang, the one that's able to keep the group together when they need it the most. Now, while some may argue that that's more so Sly's job because he's the leader, but you cannot tell me that Murray doing this for the team is really what was making everything work. Because in the past, we've seen Sly and Bentley bump heads a lot, and even nowadays, they still bump heads about stuff. And I guarantee you, if it was just the two of them working together, that Bentley would have been separated from Sly a while ago, and I mean a long while ago. It's only because that Murray's there to be like the moderator between the two that the two are able to actually be friends, and not let their work destroy a beautiful friendship. Murray's emotional intelligence is highly underrated by a lot of people. I don't think people give him enough credit for how much he actually shows compassion or care for his teammates the way that he does. It's amazing how, despite being next to 3 people who are much more intelligent than he was from a book smart standpoint, but from a street smart standpoint, I think Murray has all of them beat, aside from Sly himself. But that doesn't mean that this moment makes number 1 on the list. The number 1 moment on this particular list means a whole lot more to Murray's character. But before we get into that moment, like always, we're going to do a recap of everything, and then we're going to show some honorable mentions on this list, and then we're going to get to the number 1 spot on this list. So I will see you guys in about a minute.
Pleasure. You know how I love to mess around with Carmelita.
Yeah, that's weird.
Out there on account of the smell?
The smell?
It's a long story. I had to apologize up and down for like a month before he'd speak to me again.
What did you do?
The unspeakable, Sly. The unspeakable.
Our exit was a little rough, but Murray managed to get us out just in time to witness the final fate of the Cooper legacy. It was a bittersweet moment.
Got it. Strong work, Murray.
Yeah, sure. The Murray's strength knows no limit.
Okay, we are now at the #1 spot on this list. And I would say this should not be no surprise to anybody, but the #1 spot on this list is Murray rejoining the Koopa gang in Sly 3.
You're right to be scared, Hippo. Your wheelchair friend should have been so smart.
Murray! Help!
That does it! I'll floss my teeth with your spine!
That one line is enough to send goosebumps down anybody's spine. Literally. So anyway, yeah, before we go into what made Murray rejoin the Koopa gang, let's talk about why he left the Koopa gang to begin with. Long story short, clockwork parts are destroyed, but Bentley's legs are crushed because of it, and Murray is mentally destroyed. And Sly comic issue #2, Murray feels that everything bad that's happened to the gang is all his fault, and he decides to leave the gang because of it. So, what brings us to this point is Sly and Bentley obviously trying to get Murray to rejoin the squad so that they can do the Koopa Vault job together. But Murray wants to complete his task for the Guru, which is make sure the black water runs pure in Venice, Italy. Even though I think it was more so a metaphorical sense, not actually a physical sense. But yeah, so we get to the point in Operation Tarbigon where Octavio still manages to sink a whole building, which makes Bentley mad, but then he slaps Bentley across the area. And even though Murray is hesitant to want to help Bentley in this moment, it's not until he hears Bentley's plea and cry, which I guess reminded Murray of the time that Bentley's legs got crushed, which pisses Murray off, and then we get that iconic line.
That does it! I'll floss my teeth with your spine!
It's like Sly said at the end of that chapter. Even though defeating Octavio was a great prize, the bigger prize was getting Murray to rejoin the Koopa gang. This moment obviously ranks #1 because after everything that the Koopa gang, especially Murray, had been through between that point in time, this moment was definitely a moment of euphoria, and it made Murray realize how important he was to the Koopa gang. Again, he's the heart and soul of the group, which goes back to entry #2, with him being the heart and soul as well. Sly and Bentley both knew that deep down that Murray truly was the heart and soul of the Koopa gang. While Sly is the leader and Bentley's the brains, without the fire and passion that Murray brings to the table, none of these guys are able to complete the operations that they have in store. And that's why Murray rejoining the Koopa gang is #1 on this list. And we are done with today's video, guys. Hope you guys liked this video. What are your thoughts and opinions on Murray's greatest moments? Do you like them? Do you not like them? And again, as always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to Raven for suggesting the video and the last video. Basically, this whole series. Thank you for suggesting this whole series. So I appreciate it greatly. So for the next video that we do, guys, it's going to be about the Foxy Lady, Carmelita Fox, and her greatest moments. And with that, guys, I am Sly Lancey, and I'll see you guys next time.